my community or just like in the people that I fuck with directly, they feel a certain way about vaccines. They're fucking, some of them are just super anti-vax. Some of them just are like, you're taking away my freedoms. All the regular stupid talking points that people have about vaccines. What have you been hearing in your circles about vaxes, dude?
Right now, a lot of people I know are actually have COVID, and one of my wife's stepbrother, he was very anti-vax. Even and he's actually an ambulance driver, and I
Okay.
find that from time to time you find people who are in the healthcare profession that are anti-vax. I think I hear about it more than I've talked to people like I know a few nurses and they're all vaccinated, but I hear them talk about other people that they work with that are anti-vax, and I guess that's pretty common. Like people who are trained in the medical profession, like don't necessarily aren't necessarily in favor of the vaccine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably for many reasons, both political and just cultural, social. Like talked about this before in previous podcasts, where I think that we're in general just losing faith in institutions, in centralized traditional authority, you know, a paradigm of authority that has existed before. Like we're everybody's suspicious of it, both on the left and the right. And this is just what happens, right, when you have a shit ton of corruption and and inequality and people are just and the empire is just collapsing, right? So I think that's what's happening. But yeah, and he got so my wife's stepbrother got COVID and but he got vaccinated like not too long ago. Um, and he seems to be coming along to the fact now that he has it, now that he has COVID, he's like, oh, maybe this is a good idea to get vaccinated.
Mm-hmm. What have his symptoms been like? Is he okay?
I think he's gonna be okay. Yeah, he's a pretty healthy guy. He's like my age. I think he just has body aches. I don't think he's having hard time breathing or anything.
All right. Yeah, and definitely like a mistrust in the institutions, right? And I totally hear that, but I think fuck, dude, just if like we have a channel right now, right? We're trying to fucking do a YouTube channel here. We're trying to talk about some serious stuff, right? And we're trying to take it serious because it's a serious topic. But there's people out there that have channels that are fucking saying the most ridiculous shit, man. And people are just not responsible with their messaging, with their fucking, with their information. And this kind of circles back to what we were talking about of like, who are you watching? And like, as far as like YouTube, like streamers and political pundits and stuff like that. What I have to say that in the last fucking years that I've been watching this shit, people like David Pacman, people like Vosh, people like Hassan, people like Destiny, although they have different opinions on a lot of fucking hot button topics, they look at the shit and they fucking look at it in good faith and they try to break it down as best as they can. Right? There's no agenda. They're fucking the people that pay them are their fucking subscribers, their whatever fucking ads that they ad revenue that they make, and like sponsorships, right? But they're not like fucking being, and actually a lot of them have said that they get hit up by like right wing organizations so that they can be the next fucking like Tommy Lauren or Candace Owens or whatever the fuck, because
Mm.
it's way more lucrative than to be fucking one of these people that are trying to break down the truth, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
why there's not a lot of like huge fucking streamers on the left other than like someone like Hassan or David Pacman, or Destiny or all these guys, right? There's maybe like four or five big dudes on the left, versus like you go on the right and you have people like uh like Dave Rubin, right? You have fucking even like all the people that Joe Rogan has on that are fucking super right wing. He's starting to fucking drift over to the right now, as how crazy he's been. You have Jesse Lee Peterson. You have Ben Shapiro, right? Fucking Candace Owens, all these fucking people that I also fucking see people in my fucking on my Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat. They'll repost shit that Candace Owens says and fucking think it's like the most amazing shit that they've heard, right? And fucking to me, it's infuriating. So I like to watch these dudes who, and I watch a bunch of them because I'm not just gonna go off of what one of them says, but at least they go over the information without, I know that there's not like a big corporate head behind them trying to like sway the information one way or another.
I've heard the entire spectrum of opinions on vaccine mandates. I even heard like leftists argue against mandates,
Mm-hmm.
vaccine mandates,
Yeah.
and I've heard leftists talk about like I think Hassan has said this, right? He says I think he's in favor of mandatory vaccines for
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know where I stand. Like I have I can understand the allure, like authoritarianism in general around the world is becoming pretty popular, right? It's becoming people are starting to like see the benefits in it, like whatever those benefits are. Like just an example of like how China was able to maintain was able to lock down the entire country and maintain the the virus from spreading within its borders. I don't know how it's doing now. It's probably doing a lot worse than it was at the beginning, but at the very beginning it was really good at it.
Yeah. I
And some
mean,
people point at China and it's like, oh look, like you see the when you don't have a democracy, you at least can get that kind of shit done, you know?
yeah,
Um,
and it's like when we need like a fucking decision like to be made for everyone because not everyone has all the information. Like I think,
yeah,
yeah, like you kind of look at authoritarianism and you're like, yo, like someone needs to make the call because these
yeah,
fucking people can't make up their minds, right? So,
hmm
uh and then it's kind of like Biden and fucking getting out of Afghanistan, right? They're like, yo,
yeah,
somebody has to make the call, but the dude that does make the call is gonna get a lot of shit.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then, but then I also see the other side of it, right? That like, this could become like, uh, vaccines and maybe like medical procedures in general have a bad rap around amongst like people of color who know about how the government has like experimented on people of color medically, using these these medical procedures to test out vaccines or to test out uh, these different technology, these medical technologies. And they talked about it in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
Hmm.
right? They alert to it, right? And so they're really aware of it. And so then I can see like, yeah, we have to. I don't trust the government at all, or these people, right? These people are saying I don't trust the government at all, and if they're going to tell me to take a vaccine, I don't trust that either because look at what's happened to my people in the past.